I smile because I don't know what else to do. I have been struggling for I guess it's been about 8 weeks now, maybe a little longer, maybe a little less, but I have been struggling with relationship and what in the world, how to relate to people without toxic exchange or codependency or being manipulated, and how do you hold good boundaries, and what do you do with the guilt that you feel, and why do you feel the daggone guilt, and what the hell. It has been a lot, and it has been painful, and I have not been happy. And I have reverted back to my normal cycle when this happens. I start noticing all of the codependency. I start noticing the manipulation. I start noticing that the reciprocity isn't happening. I start noticing the disrespect. I start noticing my people pleasing and my wanting to keep others from suffering and all of these things. And I feel insane. I feel like I am being drugged in every direction over hot coals, and I just don't know what to do. It's like one part of me says be nice, the other part says, well, how would you want to be treated? And forgiveness, and all of these concepts start just flooding in, and before I know it, I don't know if I'm an asshole or a saint or just want to give up on being in any sort of relationship, period. But I had a moment just a few minutes ago where it was like, holy shit. I realized that some of the most painful exchanges that I have had in my life, and most recently, are about me getting in the way of karma and trying to fix things for people that they don't need fixed. They need to face consequences, and they need to decide whether or not to learn and grow from those lessons. And I was taught at a very young age to throw myself on the bomb. And what I have noticed is that what I was trained to do was to literally, what I said, throw myself on the bomb. These people, this person, whomever it is that I'm having this relational challenge with at the moment, they have a bomb getting ready to go off. And they have built that bomb by being disrespectful, by being inconsiderate, by taking advantage of other people, by not owning their own shit and being a responsible member of humanity. They have caused a problem for themselves, whatever that problem may be. And me, in all of my confusion and wanting to be loving and kind and to keep people from suffering unnecessarily, even if those people have in fact been the ones that caused my suffering, I want to save them. I want to throw myself on the bomb. I want to say, no, you don't have to suffer that way. Well, that's great that I want to do that. However, the problem is that I get blown up. I'm now in ICU because a bomb just went off underneath me. A bomb that had nothing to do with me, and that I should have just minded my own business. So I'm wounded mortally, and the person who has blown me up is mad at me for being blown up and needing to heal. What the fuck? And they have no accountability whatsoever that I took that on for them. I should have done that. And not only should I have done it, I should have done it with a smile on my face and be ready to do it again whenever. And that's love. The fuck? No. No. So what brought me here today was I got a text message asking for a favor from a person who I've really been struggling with boundaries and who just does not see their own perspective or how what they're doing might be wrong. And so I keep overlooking this person's abusive behavior, telling myself that that's the compassionate thing to do. And so I've really, this morning, I was asked to do a favor after I did a favor just yesterday and was treated horribly, horribly. I mean, not just like, oh, they didn't say thank you, but like, it was very abusive because I did what I was asked to do, but it wasn't done the way that it was expected. And there was a lot of hidden agenda behind what I was being asked to do. And when I didn't meet that hidden agenda, I was met with some very abusive behavior. And then today I am immediately sent messages to apologize, that being apologized to, but then also being made to feel guilty about the way that I shut things down when I was being treated badly. And then immediately being asked to do something that I had previously needed and asked that person for, and was actually not only told no, but they actually made my situation worse and harder on me. And now they're here in my face after having just abused me last night for doing them a favor. They're in my face again today, feeling like I should do them this favor that they weren't even kind enough to do for me when I needed it. But also on top of that, they almost made it impossible for me to be able to do that for myself. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I'm not going to be the bigger person. I'm not going to treat them the way I wish they would have treated me. That's not helpful. It does not help. It teaches them that they can treat people like shit and have no consequences. And it hurts me. It hurts me. Why am I hurting myself to help people who hurt me? What is that about? Well, it's about programming. I know what it's about. But am I ready to cut that off and be done with it? And let go of the guilt around it. And just really be present with, what am I being asked to give? Why am I being asked to give it? Who is asking? And what are my previous experiences with that sort of interaction? And does that serve me? Does that honor me? Does that honor them? Am I saving them from a lesson that they really need to learn? Because if I'm saving them from a lesson that they need to learn, and my goal in 2026 is to avoid creating unnecessary suffering by allowing them to avoid their lesson, I'm creating suffering. I'm creating suffering for myself. I'm creating suffering for them. And God knows what the butterfly effect is on that. And so I got to do away with this programming. I've got to notice when I'm being manipulated, when I'm trying to help because no one helped me. You know, so often we save others because we're trying to save ourselves and we don't want them to go through what we went through. But I think that it's important for us to stop before we do anything in those situations and ask ourselves, what did I learn when I went through that situation? Why was it important to me to go through that? How did that grow me? And maybe even, how do I reflect on that now? How am I being asked to grow even more? And, this is the work. It's seeing the bullshit in the moment. It's seeing why we feel the way we do. It's understanding that some of these energy exchanges are just so unhealthy. And we have been trained to feel guilty and to be confused and to feel like we're being unkind or selfish. Or, of course, we've been trained because that keeps this manipulative, crazy, unhappy, feeding off of each other, broken cycle going. And that's what's meant to happen. And unless you're willing to go, wait a minute, no, I'm not going to continue to agree with this, you're just going to keep suffering and you're going to keep creating suffering because that's just the way it works. And, I want to blame all of these exterior things. It's the government, it's evil, it's the devil, it's blah, blah, blah. It's universal law. It's universal law. Whatever you put out comes back. And it gives to you what you are needing in order to get where you're going. And if you are shitting on people, then karma is bringing you shit back. And you deserve it. And you're going to learn from it. And you're going to be okay. But own that shit. And let other people own that shit. And if you're doing good and the universe is sending you good things, celebrate that shit. And if they're sending other people good, if the universe is sending other people good stuff, and you're like, when's it my turn? Your good stuff's probably gonna get delayed. Instead celebrate that person. Be excited for them, knowing that yours is on the way. It's in these present moments where we are interacting and exchanging and making the decision that we've got to pay attention. It's not after, it's not preparing, it's right now. And if we don't listen, we get dragged off. I still, even after 13 minutes of deducing why I need to stay out of karma's way and not do this thing that I'm being asked to do because it dishonors me, it disrespects me, it gets the other person from having to face their own karma, it avoids them having to learn their lesson, it is bad. I know it, and I still feel guilty for not doing it because that's just the way it is. I hope you get something from this. I certainly have. Namaste.